Jimmy Dean once said, "I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination." Welcome to McBain Moments. Before we get started, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the manor. Please make sure you take a moment and subscribe down below. We're on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. Okay, so you can't change the direction of the wind, which basically is this whole phrase. It's very, in my opinion, it's a great metaphor for a lot of the things that I've talked about in my McBain moments before. And so what it comes down to is you can't change the direction of the wind. Things are going to come up. Sometimes it's going to be blowing in a direction you need it to go so that you can go faster toward your destination. Other times you're going to run into times when it's up against you and you have to fight through it. It's going to be difficult and you're going to power through. So the reality of it is that you can't change the things in life that you can only control those things in life that you can control. When the wind comes up against you, adjust your sails some. Maybe you have to run alongside it and turn into it a little bit so that you're still moving gradually toward your goal, but you might have to move to one side of, it's not going to be a red straight line. You have to take a detour. Maybe there's going to be a realignment. Maybe you have to, for instance, if your goal is to be a master carpenter, but you're up on a roof and you're doing the roofing and you fall and you injure yourself. Well, now you've got to heal. But you still need to earn something in the meantime because you're capable of working, but you can't necessarily get up on roofs. So for a period of, say, 6 months, you have to go work at a retail store, or you work for the same contractor, but you're doing things on the ground, like doing basic pickup to make sure you don't fall off the ladder, or to make sure that, the vertigo doesn't hurt you, or you're doing other things. And then when everything's better, the wind blows back in your direction. You can head toward that destination. It's not always going to be easy, but there are things you can control no matter how hard things get, no matter how bad things seem. Ally Krieger said, "I can only control myself, my actions, my work ethic, and my attitude." So you can control your actions. You can take the steps you need to take to get back on the track you want to be on. You can control the steps you decide to take in order to power through that wind, or to run alongside parallel to your or perpendicular to the direction you want to go, so that you're not losing any ground even though you're not gaining ground. Or you can take actions that push you back, which doesn't benefit you or anybody else. You can always control your work ethic. No matter how bad things get, very rarely can you not overpower them just by increasing the amount of activity you do in order to get to the destination. And it might be slow, and it might be super incremental, where you're just getting, for pounds of effort, you're gaining inches. But you're going to break through that threshold. You're going to power through that obstacle. And once you do, the way is clear until you reach another obstacle. But that's the nature of life. That's the nature of how you manage to get to places. And you can always, always, always control your attitude. If you go into something with a lackadaisical, lackluster attitude, like, well, it'll be great if I get there, but if I don't get there, then I'll just find something else to do. Or if you go in there saying, well, it's probably not going to happen, or I can't do it because other people can't do it, that's not going to get you where you want to go. You have to be able to say, I have the ability, I have the power, I have the momentum, I have the drive to go pursue the goal and achieve the goal. And sometimes that attitude takes time to build. That might be your first threshold, is building that attitude up of, I can do it. It doesn't matter my circumstances. It doesn't matter where I came from. It doesn't matter how bad things are today. I can do it. When I was 24, I was on food stamps, living in government housing. Was I 24? 2008. Yeah, I think that's 24, if I'm doing my math right. Government housing, I'm on food stamps, I'm the only breadwinner, feeding a family of 3. My son was 1, just learning how to walk. And as we're struggling to make ends meet, I said to myself, I will get over this. I will get through this. I have a lot of debt. I had more back then, a lot more. And I said, I will get off of the food stamps. I will get out of government housing. I will pay this debt off. In 2010, got off food stamps and government housing. I did it by relocating. Actually, no, I should say in 2009 we got off food stamps. In 2010 we relocated to get out of government housing. And then over the course of the next 7 years, I slowly built up, changed careers, built up again, and now that debt is shrinking. It's slow, but it's shrinking. It is possible to make it happen. It doesn't matter what your goal is, you can make the goal. You just have to have the right attitude. You have to be willing to work for it. And you have to do the activities that'll get you toward that goal. Kind of like making a YouTube channel. This has been a McBain moment.